What's up, guys? So I'm just doing a quick little catch-all video for you guys tonight. This is basically just going to cover a couple of different things on your sheet to kind of help you, and also like a couple of functional things with D&D Beyond, just so that it kind of gives you guys an idea of like what to expect and that sort of thing. So the biggest thing that I'm going to show you guys here is actually this little dice roll feature in the bottom left. So if you don't have dice, which I'm going to guess that most of you don't, the nice thing is that D&D Beyond provides you with this little dice in the corner here. Basically, you click it once, a whole bunch of different dice show up. You click whichever ones you want. So in this case, we're going to say D20 because that's probably what you're going to be rolling quite a bit tonight. You just hit roll, and your dice roll shows up. So that's a D10. You can also do a couple of different functions, like say it's a D20 plus a D10. Then you can roll both of those if for any reason that you have to do that. And then if, say, for example, you click all of these and you're just like, oh, that's not what I want. I don't want that one when I'm doing this roll. Just hit the X and that'll take care of all of it. The second thing I was going to walk you guys through is just a couple of things on your sheet. I say second, there's like 4 different things that we're going to talk about here. So first of all, just kind of talking about your modifiers and also your skills and that sort of thing. So anytime you want to do one of these things, most likely you're going to say, hey, I'd like to take the animal and, handle animal handling. I'd really like to milk that cow, right? So then Otter's going to probably make you roll like an animal handling check, in which case you'll roll a D20 plus whatever your bonus is here, and that would determine whether or not you would succeed in milking said cow, right? The other thing is your armor class. So Otter will talk through a couple of different things tonight. Like, so if somebody's attacking you, then basically that attack is going to be the monster's attack roll, whatever that number might be, is going to be compared to your armor class. So in my case, my armor class is 9. Let's say a goblin hits me, and he rolls a d20 to do it. The goblin rolls a 10? That looks like a 17. What the heck? Goblin rolls a 17, or we'll say a 10, since that's what showed up for whatever reason. My armor class is 9, so that 10 is greater than 9, so then I get hit, and then I take damage accordingly. The converse is true, so then in y'all's case, so if we take a look at, say, Britton's character, we've got a spell attack, or just a normal crossbow attack here. It's got a little +4. So let's say Britton is trying to hit a goblin, and let's say the goblin's armor class is also, let's say the goblin's armor class is 10. So then what we'll do is we're going to pop over to the dice. We'll roll a d20. We'll hit roll. Okay, there, it actually says 17. So this is a 17, which already beats it, but then we would add 4, so then actually Britton would have rolled a 21. That's well over 10, so that hits. The other thing that can also do this is spell attacks. So Steve was the one who had, some of you guys might also have these, but Steve was the only person that I found who had a character with this. So we're going to go to say, let's say Steve wants to use Eldritch Blast. It's 120 feet, so it's super far away. It's +5. So in this case, Steve rolls a d20. He gets a 3. He adds 5. That's an 8. So let's say he's trying to hit that same goblin. 8 is less than 10, so then he wouldn't hit. For example purposes, let's say that Steve did hit, and just so that we can calculate damage, if he's calculating damage, you just look at this little damage number and you say, hey, it's a 1d10. You go over here, we roll our d10, and he gets a 3, so then it rolls for 3 damage. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was just a couple of, you've got your actions, which are kind of semi-self-explanatory. You basically get about 2 actions per turn. Moving takes an action, but I'm sure Otter will kind of explain these things to you. I wanted to go in over like more nuanced stuff. So if we go to, say, bonus action, bonus actions are basically actions that you can take on every time on your turn, and it's in addition to the actions that you already have. So let's say John is in a fight. This is John's character. Let's say John is in a fight and he's going to move and then he's going to attack. He also still has a bonus action left. And so for him, his character's bonus action is that on his turn, he can dash, disengage, or hide. So basically, John he could also attack twice and then dash. He could move, he could dash, move, then attack. He could attack twice and then hide. It kind of, assuming there's something to hide under. But a bonus action is basically just like a free action that you get on your turn, every time it's your turn. Steve's got one, so in Steve's case, as a bonus action, you can heal one creature you see within 60 feet, spending dice from the pool. So in Steve's case, he gets to use a bonus action of a healing light. And that's, again, anytime it's his turn. It looks like he can only use it 4 times, so every time that Steve uses it, he would click off one of these. If you still have questions about bonus actions, just ask me a little bit later. I'm happy to answer questions about them. Then I wanted to go over, spell saves first. So if we go over here to spells, so Buzz, excuse me, Buzz has a spell here called Sacred Flame. So this one works backwards. Instead of Buzz rolling dice to attack the enemy has to roll dice to not get hit. So if Buzz uses this on a goblin, let's say it's Dex 12, so they have to beat the number 12 based on a dexterity roll. So let's say I'm rolling for the goblin. I roll a d20. Okay, I roll a 16. Let's just say, hypothetically, that I get hit with that. Let's see if I get a worse roll. 16 would beat it, so then I wouldn't get hit by it. But let's say in this case I roll a 5. 5 is less than... Where's Bus's character? 5 is less than 12, so I would get hit by it. Bus would then proceed to roll the 1d8 for the damage on that. Let's see, what other little things here? I think the only thing left that I wanted to cover was reactions. The easiest, most obvious reaction, I think, was actually on Steve's character, Hellish Rebuke. So with Hellish Rebuke, basically, the way that it works is if Steve gets hit and takes damage, then he gets to use Hellish Rebuke as a counter spell, essentially, and they get hit by it. There's all these other rules, but mostly you just need to know that if Steve gets hit, he gets to use Hellish Rebuke. The important thing is, 1, Steve can't just use Hellish Rebuke on his turn, right? It's not a normal action, it's a reaction, so he has to use it if he gets hit. The second thing is that it doesn't count as an action, so Steve can, do all these spells on his turn, but then if he gets hit, he can just be it's obviously not his turn because he got hit. Then he gets to just be I'm going to use my reaction, I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke on this thing. That's the only time that he can do it. So he can't, be walking around and be oh, I didn't use Hellish Rebuke, I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke now. No, it has to be something that's done, as a counterattack, if you will. Let me see if I can break down Britain's real quick. I saw that he had one too. Creature, as a reaction when a creature you see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll, you can expend 1 use of Bardic Inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number from the creature's roll. So, in Britain's case, if he sees an enemy trying to attack somebody else, essentially he gets to insult the goblin, and then he gets to use Bardic Inspiration to roll die, and then subtract that number from that creature's roll. Again, so Britain, in your case, you can only use this if there's as soon as you see the roll, essentially. So you can't use it 2 turns later. You can't use it once all damage, etc. is happening. You kind of have to call it as it's happening, if you will, as a reaction. If you guys have any other questions about bonus actions, reactions, actions, ask me or Otter. Again, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a quick overview of a couple of different things, since I know a lot of you are new players and still kind of learning the systems. And when you look at all of this, it can get a little overwhelming, but don't get overwhelmed. This is a very good place for you to learn. Otter has DM'd a lot. I've played a lot. So if you have any other questions, just type them in the chat. Type them so that everybody can see them and so that we can answer tonight. I'll be available to answer questions, and I'll be in the chat monitoring the whole time. So if you've got an ability and you're I don't really know how this works, just type it in the chat and I'll respond. If we absolutely don't know what to do with it, we'll ask Otter, and then he'll basically call some house rules on it. But I think this will be a good way to kind of keep things rolling so that there aren't questions always being asked to like the main DM who's trying to keep things rolling and also trying to keep combat rolling at the same time. So, but yeah, just let me know, and I hope this was helpful. And I'll see you guys tonight. I'm really, really excited for you guys to do this and for us to give this a shot. And yeah, hopefully it goes really well. So I'll see y'all tonight. Ciao.